Bit of a rush on again at the last minute as normal. Here we got, I'm a bit late because I'd normally like to be on time. Oh, we've got a few people in already. We've got 15 people in. Hit the like button if you haven't hit the like button already. The Abandoned Hunter. Finished work by then. Been seeing a walk on the wild side. One pop up as well. Ashley Cray. Hi Stephen, do you get this Sky at Night magazine? Yes, I do. I get it on on subscription. This is for March. I've already got April's. Get them a month in advance. Anyway, welcome to the live stream. I am the Starman. Like I say, a bit of a rush. Always seems to be a rush at the last minute. I haven't even adjusted this camera. I just need to adjust this a little bit. It's actually daylight outside as well. It seems really weird. I'm looking outside and it's daylight outside. How are people doing? Okay, Maria's in the house. Hi Maria. Hi Sheila. Hi Astro Guy. I wonder if there's a quiz today. You're in luck. There is a quiz today. I only just finished writing at the questions about 5 minutes ago. Yeah, my brain is about to be frazzled afterwards. Did the sound go off there? It did that thing again with the Bluetooth. It just went off. It connected to my car again. Hi Tom's Vlogs. Hi Neil Cunningham. 17 in the house now. Hi Maria. Sorry about the sound. I think it probably went off there. I'm just trying to get my things together here. Yeah, it does feel a bit weird. What do you think? It's late. It stays light until probably about 9 o'clock now. The sunset is just after 8 o'clock, I think, here where I am anyway. Evening. Hi to Earth Solo. Hi Andrew Martin. Yeah, the sound did just go off there. Yeah, what happened was Bluetooth. The phone Bluetooth to my car. It goes onto the hands-free thing, and when that happens, the sound just goes off. So the sound is back. Yeah, I soon got that. I managed to get it back on. Sound went off and we can hear you. Yep, back going again now. Hi JJ. The Sky at Night magazine is good. I would say, yeah, I do get the Sky at Night magazine. If you want to learn a little bit about astronomy, I would get. This is the magazine that I would recommend out of all of them. There's quite a lot going. There's another one called All About Space. But for regular magazines, if you subscribe to the Sky at Night magazine, you do get it a lot cheaper than if you say buying it. If you're buying it, it's $5.99. It's $5.99. But if you subscribe to the magazine, I think you get it something like you get quite a bit off. And also not only that, but you get it about 2 weeks before. So I got April's. You normally get them in the middle of the month before. Coat Bridge Shamrock 2012. Hiya, walk on the wild side Starman. No taps off weather. I can't really read that. Have you got snow this week in Blackpool? Yes. If you watch my other channel, well, I was actually filming the demolition of a bingo hall and we had a blizzard. It was only a minor flurry of snow, but it was interesting though. It was hi Matt Tavish. We've got 27 in the house now. Hit the like button. Be sure to hit the thumbs up, and it might just push us up a little bit and might get a few more in. I have got a quiz. I've got a 10-question astro quiz for you. The first 5 questions I think are fairly easy. The second lot of 5 questions are a bit more difficult. So yeah, so we've got a 10-question quiz coming up. And yeah, so we've got some easy and hard questions. I'm looking out the window now. I'm just looking towards the back, and I can see the sky is really, really bright. The sun has probably just set. I think it's said about 8 o'clock. The sun set. We're up to 17 likes. That's really, really good. So where I am now in Blackpool, the sun sets. I can find out by using the photographer's ephemeris program. This is the program that I use to find out where the sun is, and you see this is really, really good. It shows you all the angles of the sun, where the sun rises and where it sets, and where the moon rises and where the moon sets. All these angles. It's really, really good. The photographer's ephemeris. It's really, really good. I think I got some snow on Saturday this weekend, says Astro Guy. I'm just looking now. It says on here, can you see that? It says there, sunset 20:01. So we're now after 8 o'clock for the sunset. So this is a really, really good app. I recommend this highly. If you want an app that shows you where the sun's going to rise, where the moon's going to rise, where it's going to be in the sky, how high up as well. It also shows you, you can use this thing at the bottom. If you put your finger on there, you can scroll through the time, and can you see how things move? It shows you the path of the sun during the day. The orange line there, the orange line, it shows you the path that the sun takes, and then it eventually sets. Can you see how it sets kind of sort of in the west northwest there? And as we go on, as the time goes on, the sun's going to set further and further north towards the solstice, when it's going to set somewhere up here. So if you imagine on the summer solstice, the sun is going to set up here, and on the winter solstice, the sun sets down here. So that's a massive difference in where the sun sets from Blackpool. And what I like about it best is, well, what I like about here best, being Blackpool, can you see how our coastline is north and south? So it's straight up, it's pretty much straight up north and south. And that gives us a really good, you know where you are, you know, Michael Saltzman has Photo Pills, also does the same. Yeah, I mean, I've heard a lot about Photo Pills. There's another app called Photo Pills, which is worth a look. I've never used it myself. I don't think I'm going to use it because I'm quite happy with this myself. And but Photo Pills, it is definitely one to look at. You know, it's if you want an app for astronomy and planning Milky Way shots and sunsets and sunrises and all that sort of thing. What are people saying? The photographer's ephemeris. Yeah, that's right. What's the name of the app? The name of this app is called the Photographer's Ephemeris, Shirley. It's not particularly cheap, it's £10, but when you think about it, you do get a lot for that. I don't know how much Photo Pills is, it's probably about the same. Hi to Julie, hi to Mark H. You should send your photos to the magazine, Stephen, and see if they're published. I've actually had winning photographs in here. I had a letter of the month not too long ago in the letters section, and I've had a photograph of the month, and I've also had photographs in the gallery section, because they always have a gallery of readers' photographs, and they always have one that see this here, look, there's the gallery. So if you have a good photo and you want to send it to the Sky at Night magazine, you never know, you might just get your photograph in the gallery. Look, someone's put a picture of the moon there, look, just a full moon. Yeah, see? And you get your name there. So I've actually been in here a few times, yeah. That one there is a deep space picture. That's a special type of picture, that one, taken by some guy in America. So you need a pretty good sky. You're looking good there. That's because we will meet soon, says Mike. Yes, let's hope so. It also says on the front, the return of Aurora season. Well, I'm not really sure why it says that, because we're actually going into summer now, and we're not going to be able to see the Aurora, because it's going to be... if you're at the northern part of the world, the further north you go now, as we go towards summer, it's going to get to... We're going to get light nights, and we're not going to be able to see, unless they're talking about something else where you have the sun. In fact, this is one of the questions. The sun has a cycle of activity, and I think we're on the up. It's on the up. The sun is waking up. It's waking up a bit. The more activity on the sun, the more likely we get aurora. Look at that. Yes, and I've seen that a few times as well. So anything else? Yeah, there's been a couple of things that I mean to talk about. Just going back to I saw Orion for the first time, says Shirley Keeler Polly a few nights back. Really, for the first time you saw Orion? Do you ever go to Norway to see the Northern Lights? No, the furthest north I've been is Skye. I went to Iceland back in 2 years ago. I went to Iceland and was very unlucky not to see the Northern Lights. We just got really, really bad weather. If it was clear, we probably would have seen them. I wonder how Ingenuity will cope with takeover. Yeah, that's a good one, Ashley. Yeah, he's just mentioned the helicopter. You know, we were talking about it when we did the live stream for the Mars mission where they landed the rover on the Mars. It's also got a helicopter on it, and that helicopter, they're getting it ready now. I think they've dropped the helicopter off. Not sure, but they're definitely getting ready to launch this helicopter on Mars. That'd be interesting, won't it? To see if this helicopter works on Mars. The propellers on it have to spin really, really fast because there's no, the atmosphere is very, very thin on Mars. So the helicopter, the rotors have to spin really, really fast to make it take off. Steve, I'm new to all this, but enjoying it. Thank you, Shirley Keeler. So you only just saw Orion for the first time the other week. Maybe you'd seen it before, but you didn't really notice it. And maybe when you saw it this time, you know what it was. You know that it's the constellation of Orion. Also, I saw a last quarter moon. It looks so nice. The last quarter is my favourite moon phase, says Astro Guy. Yeah, the last quarter moon. I actually saw, if you saw my video from last week on the belt of Venus, I showed the moon. And the moon, did you notice how low in the sky the moon was? And that was the moon at its highest point, pretty much its highest point, because I was looking towards the south. And it was very surprising to see how low down the moon was. And that's the thing, you see, during the year, sometimes the moon's really high up, and then, you know, then later in the year, obviously now at the moment it's low down. It's really, really low down. And it was a last quarter moon. You get a last quarter moon high in the sky when the sun is about to rise. You get a first quarter moon high in the sky when the sun is due to set, because it's on the opposite side, you see. Yeah, and obviously you'll get a full moon when the sun rises in the opposite part of the sky, what people saying. Saw your Belt of Venus video last week. Yeah, I think it was a good video, wasn't it? I think I had to get up early to do that one, and yeah, I quite enjoyed that. It's got over 1,000 views as well, which I'm really, really pleased about. You know, that's good. That really, really good. See, I'll be starting the quiz anytime. There's something else I want to talk about. Can't remember what else was it. I think, yes, I was talking about actually what happened. If you saw my last live stream, I was talking about a few things. I was saying that you could see the Milky Way. It's a good time to see the Milky Way, but you need to be up really early in the morning. If you want to see the summer Milky Way, the brighter part of the galaxy, the brighter part of the Milky Way, you need to be up, say, about 3 to 4 o'clock in the morning. Oh, it sounds awful, doesn't it? 3 to 4 o'clock in the morning, but that's what time you need to be up if you want to see the brighter part of the galaxy, because it's rising in the east, you see. You need to look towards the east. The brighter part will be towards the southeast, so you need a dark sky towards your southeast. I haven't got anything like a dark sky towards the southeast anywhere around. 2 weeks ago, our sun was partially covered in cloud near sunset. Looked like there was another sun behind it. Any ideas? No. It's probably just an optical effect, maybe. Sometimes looking at the sun, it plays with your eyes a little bit. So yeah, so if you want to see the Milky Way, you can do. You can see it right through next week. The moon is now moving out of the way in the morning. It's not in the way in the morning, so the moon is away. What's going to happen is the moon's going to come around the other side of the sun, and it will be back to a waxing crescent moon sometime next week. But you'll still be able to see the Milky Way in the morning with no moon in the way. So it's great all next week. Now, I've had chances myself to do it, but I've just not been anywhere. In fact, I actually went on, I did go somewhere and I tried to do a video on it. I had a complete fail. Do you remember when I was talking in the last video, I was talking about that faint band of light called zodiacal light? I'll just try and, I was talking about this effect, can you see? This faint band of light here called zodiac. I was trying to see if I could get that last week. I actually drove about 45 minutes up the coast. I drove up to near Lancaster to a place called Cockerham where they've got a beach and a bit of a lighthouse. It's not a proper lighthouse, but it's like a building with a light on top of it. And I drove up there because it was meant to be clear, and guess what? When I got there, it was cloudy. Oh my God, it was horrible. Yeah, it was a complete fail. That happens, you know. I made a video on it as well, but I didn't put the video on because I thought, oh no, this is no good, is it? I've tried to do a video. I've done the intro. I've gone up there. I've walked across the beach. I've been filming it and been talking. This is what I was trying to capture. I had to go up there to get away from these lights in Blackpool, because to capture anything like this here, this faint zodiacal light, which is what I was trying to capture, it's a very faint band of light, glow, along the plane of the zodiac, well after sunset, when the sun goes right down, about 15 to 20 degrees, and the glow of the sun glows along the plane of the orbit of the solar system. So that's basically showing you the plane of the solar system. See that there? And it's a great time of the year to see it. You can still see it for the next, I think you can still see it up until maybe Monday, before the moon starts to come back into the evening sky. And when the moon comes back, may I ask, where did you take that picture of the zodiacal? This one, Astro Guide, this one was taken in the Lake District. Yeah, that was taken in the Lake District. Yeah. So you do need to be somewhere fairly dark, you know, to be able to capture something like that, and also see it as well. You know, you can see it. You can see it with your own eyes. Most people wouldn't notice it. You wouldn't take any notice. But if you know what it is, you can tell. You can tell what it is. You can tell it from the light pollution. There's a little bit of light pollution on this picture. Tiny bit, just in the bottom corner there. You can see it's like an orange glow. Can you see like an orange? A little bit orange over here as well. There's some lights over here as well. Very, very minor. Now, light pollution tends to glow orange. Can you see? Orange. But anything astronomical like the Milky Way or even the aurora sometimes can glow in like a white. You get like a white. Can you see? There's no mistaking that with that. So the orange glow is light pollution, and the white glow is and you might just be able to see the Milky Way up here as well, you know, the Milky Way above. So there you are. And the reason why it's a good time of the year to see zodiacal light now is because the ecliptic, which is the sun's path, is steep after sunset. It's very steep. It's like that. It's like that in the sky. Other times of the year, it can be low. It can be low down, and then you can't really see that effect is always there. It's always there, all the time. But sometimes when the ecliptic is low, you're not going to be able to see it. But if you go somewhere like Spain or down to Tenerife or somewhere like that, somewhere that's a low latitude, you can pretty much see zodiacal light all the time if it's clear enough. So, like I say, it's always there. So there you go. Yeah, it is a nice place, yeah. Coniston. I am going to start the quiz in a minute. Are you all ready for the quiz? It's getting a bit darker outside. Yeah, so yeah, I was really disappointed because I did this video and I was hoping to capture that effect, and I didn't want to drive too far away. I was going to go and drive up to the Lake District, but I didn't want to drive all that far. It takes me about 90 minutes to get. Takes me about 90 minutes to get there. 90 minutes. Which doesn't seem too bad, but then you've got 90 minutes coming back, so that's about 3 hours. But I drove up to Lancaster and it was just cloud rolling all over. It was hopeless. I couldn't see anything. You know, it was absolutely hopeless. I could just about see around. Hi, Wendy. when I arrived, I could see Orion, and then the next minute these clouds come over, and they just kept coming over. Oh, it was horrible. And there's me on the beach, all alone. Hi, Janet. Sorry, you're not too late for the quiz, Janet. So there was no chance I was ever going to be able to see it. And you never know, if I'd have driven all the way up to Coniston, you know, it could have been just as cloudy there, so it would have been a really wasted trip. Helen's in the house. Hi, Helen. John Sanchez. Hi from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Wow, New Mexico. I know New Mexico. That's Roswell, isn't it? Yeah, I nearly went to New Mexico once. I don't think I went over the border. We were very close to the border. We were at the, I think we were at the four crossings. There's a, you know, we might have just gone into New Mexico. There's a point in America where there's like a cross. You get four. Is it Arizona? Can't remember the other one now. Arizona, New Mexico. Sorry, I can't. But we did visit Arizona. We visited the meteor crater. You know, the big massive crater in near Wilmslow. And it was when we sort of done all that. I think we went near the Four Corners. It's called the Four Corners. My bedroom looks at the west. What should I look for at 2 a.m. on? It's not towards the west. It's actually towards the east, because the Milky Way rises in the east, and it's rising. It's quite low down. You need to be out at about 3 o'clock in the morning to have a chance of seeing it, and you need to look towards the east, and you need to look about halfway up in the sky. About halfway up, something like that. You should see a band going across the sky. Brighter towards the southeast, but the only problem is where I am, there's nothing but light pollution out that way. But you do really need a dark sky. It's in Animus, New Mexico, says John. I've not heard of that place. I have heard of Roswell though. Yeah, I know somebody who wrote some books on Roswell. Roswell. I wonder if you get loads of people going to Roswell to, you know, to look for aliens and stuff. Because we went to, Neil Cunningham says, typical British weather. Yes, it was. A little piece of Ireland says, hi, Stephen, hi. I hope you're okay there in Ireland. What was I going to say? So, we went to Las Vegas. Has anybody heard of a place called Rachel, Nevada? If you've seen the movie Paul the Alien, we went to that place where they went on the movie. It was called the Little Alien Inn. I'm sure a lot of you have seen that video. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen the movie. I've not seen the movie Paul. But it's really funny comedy. And it's got, what's that guy? Simon Pegg, is it? And yeah, so I'm just trying to log into it. Oh, can't do it. Oh, forget that. Yeah, so we went to the Little Alien, which was on that 42 watching. Don't forget to hit the like button. Quiz coming up. Quiz is going to be starting any minute now. I'm just getting it ready now. Got some easy questions, and then I've got some hard ones. So well, let's see. What time does the teapot rise? Yeah, the teapot is up. The teapot does rise. I'll just try and see if I can give you an idea of what you can see if you're in the right place. I'm just looking on Stellarium. Now Stellarium is the main app that I use for astronomy to find out stars and to find out where the Milky Way is. Stellarium. This is the one that I use for that. So right, I'm now just gonna put on this will give you an idea of where the Milky Way is. It's, can you see this? So this is towards the east, and this is towards the southeast. This is where the galactic core will be. It will be in the southeast, and the Milky Way will rise above and go right across the sky towards the north. This is just a small section of it. I'm not sure if you can really see that, but can you see how it's quite bright down here? This is what I mean. This is where the brighter part of the galaxy is, along this part of the sky at 3 o'clock in the morning at this time of year. Now that will change as we go through the year, this will eventually get higher up and it'll be further towards the south as we go through the year. So you have to be thinking it always changes all the time. At the moment, that's what you've got to do if you want to see it. If you want to see it, you need to be up fairly early in the morning. And we can just about see the core there. If I fast forward the time a bit, we can see it starting to move towards the south. If I put, I don't know if you can see that, but you can see this bright cloud here now is moving more towards the south, southern part of the sky. That's where the core of the Milky Way is at this time of the year. From here, from the UK, at around about 3 to 4 o'clock in the morning. And the reason why I say 4 o'clock is because once you get past 4 o'clock, the sky will start to brighten. And then everything will, because the sun, you see, the sun starts to get up early, you see. So what will happen is you'll then get the twilight then, and then all the stars will, the Milky Way will disappear, and then all the stars will disappear. So you do need to kind of have a cut-off time. So I would say about 4 o'clock, maybe 4:15, maybe push it a little bit. You know, you need to be thinking about it's always getting higher, it's rising higher, but at the same time, you've got that where the sun starts to rise. So you need to be, yes, it is very low for us in the UK. If you go further south, say Spain, Tenerife, the core is going to be a lot higher up. So you get a much better view of it somewhere else. I would love to see all this at 3 o'clock in the morning, but I absolutely would not get out of bed, so Sheila. I don't blame you, Sheila. I do not blame you one little bit. And the core, the actual core there, if I could show you, if I've turned the landscape off, I've turned off the landscape, can you see? This is the bright core of the Milky Way here, and it's in the constellation of Sagittarius. That's the direction of where it is. Can you see that, Sagittarius? That's what you need to look for. You need to look towards Sagittarius to see the bright core of the Milky Way. That's where it is. That's the brightest part of the galaxy that we can see. So there you go. It's in the direction of Sagittarius. So if you don't get a chance to see it now, don't worry, because once we get past summer and towards August and September, you get a great chance to see it then. It's just our problem is when we get to summer, the skies get a bit too light and we can't really get a good view of it because it's too light, and the twilight that we get in the summer up here in the UK drowns out the Milky Way, which is unfortunate because in June and July it's at its highest point. Sagittarius gets to the south, it gets high up in the south, but we have to wait until after July, we have to wait until August and September. So August and September are the best months to see the Milky Way. So don't worry if you don't get to see it this time. Hopefully we'll get a chance to see it later in the year, and it'll be a bit more better weather as well. You know, it won't be free at the moment. It's freezing. It's not very warm at all at the moment. Probably best not mentioning SpaceX, Lord, ruining our night sky. Yeah, there's quite a bit about SpaceX, isn't there? Yeah, sending all these satellites up and messing up all the sky for us. Yeah. Anyway, right, who's ready for the quiz? I have the quiz, 10-question quiz. Yes, here we go. I have got easy questions and I've got some hard questions. Right, and hopefully I've sort of based the questions on things that I've been talking about over the last Astro Guy is ready for them. So I've kind of based them a little bit on stuff that I've been talking about, so hopefully you'll know the answers if you remember. Ashley Cray says looking forward. Coming up to 8:30 and we're now ready for the quiz. Right, so here we go. These are the easy ones. Mike says go for it. Name the pink band which is opposite the sky on a clear day, opposite the sunset or the sunrise. Let's see if you can get this, Maria. What's the name of the pink band that you get to see on the opposite horizon? The pink band, if you saw my video last week, you'll know. The pink band, the winner is the one that says it first. Hey, you got it, Maria. Yeah. She got it. Make it easy, I'm a newbie, says Shirley. If you might have to watch my video. Astro Guy won. Astro Guy got in first, but most of you have got it, yeah? It's the Belt of Venus. Yes, the Belt of Venus. So I did see a video of the Belt of Venus. Yeah, it was good, wasn't it? Because I got up early and went on Blackpool Promenade and I filmed the Belt of Venus because the sun rose in the east behind the tower, and you could see this really nice horizon looking over the sea, and you could see the belt. And very slowly, it kind of gets diffused. It gets lower, and then it kind of just disappears. It doesn't seem to go down. It kind of just fades away, and you also get that dark shadow underneath as well. Isn't it amazing when you see it and you know what it is as well? You get this shadow of the Earth underneath, and you get this pink band on the top, which is the Belt of Venus, which is the atmosphere of the Earth. The sun shining through the atmosphere that creates that pink band. And they're always a little bit different, you know. I mean, the one I saw on Blackpool last week was not the best Belt of Venus I've ever seen. It was kind of a little bit subtle. The best Belt of Venus I've ever seen was in Scotland. If you look at my video, I think I did a link to it at the end of that video. So if you watch that video, there's a link to the Scotland one, where I was in Scotland, and that Belt of Venus was absolutely amazing. So there you go, the Belt of Venus. Well done, everyone. Now then, here's another fairly easy one. I think this is fairly easy. Not including the sun. What is the brightest star in the night sky? Well, it wouldn't be. If the sun was up, it wouldn't be night, would it? What's the brightest star in the night sky? The brightest star in the night sky. I don't know how you used to. Sometimes these messages come and they're coming on really quick. Don't forget to hit the like button or the thumbs up. Just there, we're up to 45, 46. Janice is in the house. Hi, Janice. Well, the brightest star in the night sky. The brightest star that we can see. It doesn't mean it's the brightest star going. It's just the brightest star that we see. Sorry, Wendy. I probably would have said that 10 years ago. The North Star. I would have said that, probably. No. Janice said Polaris. No, that's the sort of thing I would have said. So don't worry about it. It is Sirius. You cannot be serious. Yeah, Sirius. And Maria's got it. And I think it was Mike. Mike got in first, I think. He did say Venus first, which is not a star. Venus is a planet. But he did get back in there with, on my screen, Michael got in just before Astro Guy. Yeah, Polaris. I used to think that Polaris or the North Star was the brightest star in the sky, when really it's very, very average brightness, the North Star. Yeah, it's not that bright at all, really. So there you go. But when I say that Sirius is the brightest star, it doesn't mean it's the brightest star. It's just apparently bright to us. It could be to do with, it's only about 6 light years away. And it is a pretty bright star. It's brighter than the sun. It's like a sort of bluish kind of young star, and it's got a companion as well. And my favourite star is Betelgeuse, says Janet Williams. Yeah, I think mine is as well, because it's a nice red star, isn't it? Kind of moving out of the way now. If you notice, Orion is kind of, if you look out now early, you'll notice that Orion is now moving right off, and it'll be gone. By next month, you won't be able to see it. It's big, it's red and easy to find. Yes, it is, yeah. Right, we're now ready for the third question. Now then, this concerns, there are 3 bright stars in a row in Orion. What's the name of them? What do you call the 3 bright stars in a row in Orion? The 3 famous bright stars in a row in Orion. So this is an easy one. I think it's an easy one. 46 watching. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up. Who's got it first? Some people are very quick with this. Hey, Maria's wins. Maria, you win. You win. Maria got it first. Yes. Yes, she got it. Then Michael. They all came in very quick, actually. All came in very quick. On my screen, I've got Maria as the winner with Orion's belt. The 3 amigos. Actually, that's a good 3 stages. Yeah, yeah. Yep. Orion's belt. Yeah, and the belt of Orion, the 3 stars, they can be called an asterism. So they can be called an asterism because they're like a shape in the shape. They're a shape of stars. An asterism is a name given to any kind of a shape of stars. It could be big, massive, like the summer triangle, or it could be like the belt of Orion, where it's just 3 stars in a row, and they call that an asterism. So it's a little bit different to a constellation. A constellation is a proper constellation, loads of stars, and it's got a name, whereas an asterism it could be part of a constellation, it could be part of other constellations, and it's just a more recognisable shape. I think Orion's belt is 3 sisters, could be. I could ask you to name them as well, but we won't go that far. Now then, here's another question. It's another one that I've been talking about. Maybe a little bit harder, this one. Orion's belt is in a part of the sky that splits the northern and southern celestial hemispheres. What is that part of the sky called? What is the part of the sky called where the 2 hemispheres meet? What is the name of that part of the sky? A little bit more difficult, this one, actually. Orion's belt is very close in the sky to where the 2 celestial hemispheres of the night sky meet. There's a name for it. Astro Guy's got it. Is Astro Guy's quick? Not quite, Janet, but you're kind of along the right sort of lines. So Michael's half right. Yeah, you have to be thinking about I can't remember the name. So is Maria. So so on Earth we have the equator, don't we, that splits the north and southern hemispheres. So we have the equator, the line. So if you imagine the equator and project that out into space, it intersects the stars. So there's a line across the stars, which Orion's belt just so happens to be very close to. It's very, very close to that part of the sky. They're the only stars that I can think of in the whole sky that are close to and it's called the celestial equator. The celestial equator. So if you think about the Earth's equator splits the 2 halves. The celestial equator splits the 2 halves of the sky, the night sky for us. So all the stars that are below Orion's belt are all in the southern part of the night sky. We can see some of them. We can see about we can see about 2/3 of the sky from where we are, but any further down than that, and we're out of luck really, because they're too far down, we'll never see certain stars. So I think was it Astro Guy that got that one? I think it was Astro Guy again. Some of you were very close. Yeah, the celestial equator. So just think of it as Earth's equator into the stars. So celestial means of the stars, so it's stars. Why the zodiacal constellations in the ecliptic are not on the equator line? Because, I'll tell you why. It's because that's actually a good question. He said, why are they along the ecliptic? The ecliptic does not follow the equator line. The celestial equator, say you've got the celestial equator, it splits a half. The ecliptic actually wobbles like that. It wobbles because the sun, when the Earth is at one side of the orbit, the Earth is tilted. We're tilted towards the sun, and the southern hemisphere is tilted away from the sun. And when it's on the other side, it's the opposite way around. And during that time, the sun is well above the equator. And at the other side, on the other side of the Earth, on the other side of the sun, it's below the equator. So it's always going to be moving up and down. So that's why it's not on the... I could probably explain. I'd have to use a graph to explain it. Anyway, we're going to move on to question number 5. The Earth is tilted slightly off the celestial equator. That's right, 23 degrees. So it's going to go 23 degrees above and then 23 degrees below. That's why it's not on the equator. So it always goes above and below the equator. Now then, name the moon when it is at its largest. What do you call a moon, a big moon? What do you call a big moon? Ooh, look at this behind me, look. Oh, there's one there, look. Hey, that's one there. What do you call a big moon? Janice has got it. Janice has won. Yes. What I might not have asked the question very well. What I meant was when you get a really big, when the moon is closest to us, you know, the moon, sometimes it's closer to us and sometimes it's a little bit further away, but it's very hard to tell the difference, to be honest. It always tends to look about the same size. But yeah, a big moon, so when the moon is closest to us, when it's closest to the Earth, it's called a supermoon. And I think we've got one coming up this month. Janet Williams, woot woot. Frank Torkins in the house, just in after work. I saw one of your company vehicles this morning, Janet. Frank, I put it in the video and I did a little bit of a backwards and forwards with it, just to... Yeah, so Janice wins that one. That's right, Ashley Gray, perihelion. Yeah, when it's at perihelion, perihelion means it's at its closest, and there you go. Actually, no, it's not that. I think you call it a different name. You call it. I think it's called perigee with the moon. Perigee. When the moon is at its closest, it's called perigee. It's at perigee. When it's further away, it's at apogee. So that's what you call them. That's right. We're now going to go on to the hard questions. Who's ready for the hard questions? I think we did pretty well there, actually. Now then, hard questions now. Who's ready for the hard ones? Actually, I don't think this first one is not that hard, actually. I've not seen one of these for a while. What causes a lunar eclipse? What is it? What body causes a lunar eclipse? What is it that gets in the way to turn the moon red? Something gets in the way to turn the moon red. What is it? What causes a lunar... We've got 50 people watching. Hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up. If you haven't hit the thumbs up, hit the thumbs up. It might... Janet Williams has got it. Not quite, Michael. I think you're on the wrong track there. I think Janet has won this one. Earth gets in the way, that's right. Very close, Maria. You are very, very close. Just behind Janet there. Richard Armstrong says the Earth. Don't forget to hit the like button. We've got 51 watching. Neil Cunningham, Earth, yeah. Shirley Keeley Polly, yes, the sun. Well, the sun, it's the sun. It's the Earth getting in the way of the sun. And... the Earth is pretty big as well, so you get to see more total lunar eclipses and solar eclipses because they're much more likely to happen. Can you imagine how big the Earth's shadow is, you know, when the sun gets behind it? Yeah, it's the shadow of the Earth. So when I talk about the belt of Venus, you see the shadow of the Earth. Well, that can be cast on the moon. So you can imagine if the sun was over here and the Earth moved in front, it's going to cause a shadow on the moon. Now, sometimes you don't get a total shadow. You sometimes get only partial. And you'll see the moon go dark on one side. They're actually quite spectacular, actually. But when it covers the whole moon, when the shadow covers the whole moon, the moon turns a really nice kind of red colour. I've seen quite a few lunar eclipses. They are really, really nice. If you ever get a chance to see a lunar eclipse, you've just got to go and see one. They're absolutely amazing when you see them. You normally get them after a solar eclipse as well, because they come in cycles, you see. When the Earth gets in front of when the moon gets in front of the sun, Janice, sort of, yeah, not too far. I'm the thick girl. No, you're not, Wendy. When the moon is behind Earth, there's no sunlight. The moon turns red due to twilight. Yeah, so it's sort of like again, it's the atmosphere of the Earth. A total lunar eclipse, and sometimes you get a red, but sometimes it could be even more. It could be a very deep red, or it could be like an orange, and it all depends on the atmosphere of the Earth. You know, if it's a dirty atmosphere, it could be even more. You know, so it all depends. They're all different. You know, they're never two are the same. Now then, here we are. What do you call an eclipse of the sun? The abandoned hunters in the house. Not long from work and playing catch up on both your channels. Keep up the great work. Thanks very much. What do you call an eclipse of the sun when the moon is far away? So what do you call an eclipse of the sun when the moon is far away? So you know how you get a total eclipse when the moon is quite big. It's big enough to cover the sun and you get the you get to see this sort of amazing eclipse. Yes, sort of, Julie, but not exact. Shirley says total, sort of. Astro Guy's in there again. He's got it, Astro Guy. Astro Guy's really good. I think on the journey it's getting too hard. Oh, don't. You did well in the first one. You got one in the first one. Yeah, you've got eclipse, but yeah, Janet Williams, yeah, you are right, yeah. Astro Guy again says the ring. It could be the Ring of Fire. Yeah, that's another name for it. What happens is sometimes when the moon, when it goes in front of the sun and it's far away, you know, when it's small, a lot smaller, it might not be big enough to cover the sun up. So you might just get a bit of the sun round the moon, and it's called an annular eclipse. I don't know if we've ever had one on record in this country. They always tend to happen in far off places, tropical places. But yeah, you get like a ring around, and you can't look at it with your eyes. You still have to use a like a thing to look through, and they call it the Ring of Fire, and it's absolutely spectacular. If you look it up, annular eclipse, look up, Google annular eclipse, you'll be amazed. It's absolutely amazing. It's when the moon isn't big enough to cover up the annular solar eclipse. I'll remember that, thanks. Yeah, it's when the moon is not quite big enough to cover the whole sun. So you get the ring, and spectacular Ring of Fire. Absolutely, mate. I'd love to see one. Seeing the total eclipse in America looks awesome, but I'd love to see one of those. So I think it was Astro Guy. Was it Astro Guy that got that one? Now then. You know when you see a total eclipse of the sun, I don't know if anyone's seen a total eclipse of the sun, you get like a flaring around the sun. What do you call that flaring? What is the atmosphere of the sun called? It's what you can only see it during a total eclipse of the sun. The atmosphere of the sun, what's it called? You can only see it during a total eclipse, and it looks absolutely amazing. I know because I've seen it. Janice has got it. Janice is the winner. Well done, Janice. Everyone else is in there quick. Yeah, they're all in there. Christopher Jones, Astro Guy. No, I'm not talking about the Corona. Hey, I've got to be careful. Hey, I've got to be careful. If I mention that, this live stream will get banned. Don't say it. I'm not going to say it. Just read the questions. Read the questions. Read the answers, sorry. People have wrote the right answer there. It's C-O-R-O-N-A. I don't want to say it. I don't want to trigger the... I never thought of that, you know. Yeah, I might trigger the YouTube thing. I'll get banned in a minute. This video will get taken down. I'll get kicked off YouTube for mentioning it, that dirty word. Yeah, and here's another thing as well. Do you know that the atmosphere of the sun is, God, how many degrees is it? It's so much warmer, hotter than the actual surface of the sun. The surface of the sun is about 6,000 degrees. 6,000. That's all it is. 6,000 degrees. But the nearly said it then. The atmosphere is literally millions of degrees. Frank Torkin says a million. What's the difference between the chromosphere and the other one? I think the chromosphere, I think that's the layer that's just below the surface, I think they call it. I think. I'm not sure. I think it's where you get all the granular stuff, you know, what you need to be able to look through a hydrogen alpha telescope to see it. Tom's Vlogs UK is in the house. Don't forget to hit thumbs up here. 56 watching, wow. That's pretty good. 56. Imagine if I was in the room now talking to 56 people, because that's what it feels like. I've got 56 people watching. I've got 2 questions left, 2 hard questions to go. We're coming into the last 10 minutes of this live stream. Now then, I was talking about this before. The sun goes through a cycle of activity, high and low. How long is that cycle? Does anybody know how long the solar cycle is? The activity of the sun goes through a cycle, and when it's at high activity, you get more likely to get aurora, and you're more likely to get spots on the sun, Oh, really, really good. This is impressive. Very impressive. Lots of answers coming in. When the cycle is low, we're kind of in a low at the moment, but we're coming out of it. We're coming out. Ooh, we've got loads and loads of answers here. Who was first? Right. Janet Williams came in with an answer. She said 13. He went too far off. Neil's right. Neil wins this one. Neil Cunningham, you have won this question. Ashley Craig came second. Very quickly came in. Everyone was really quick. Christopher Jones, 11 years. Frank Torkin says 12. Yeah, it's about 11. You're not too... It's a roughly 11. I think 11 years. It's not definite. And I think it can change as well, you know, over periods of time. So Richard Armstrong says 12. Yeah, at the moment it's 11, but I mean over time it might change, you know. We've recorded 11-year cycles since, I don't know, since the records began. The chromosphere is a second of the tree main layers of the sun. Yeah, that's what I thought, Subsvids. Yeah, I thought it was that. It's rosy red colours, not 100 pounds during eclipse. The chromosphere sits just above the photosphere and below the solar trans. That's getting very deep. Julie Miller says, don't know. Mark Hay says, 11 years, well done. Maria says, no idea, but about to find out. Shirley says, 1 year. Harry, 69's in the house. I missed a number. Yes, you did. Astro Guy, hi, Harry, 59. 55 watching. Got 55 watching. We've got one question left. I used to do amateur radio, and yeah, got to know about sunspot cycle. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right, because when the solar cycle is high, so I think at the moment, it's really, really good, because as we get towards a high activity on the sun, which is going to happen towards probably more towards the end of the decade, but we're getting there now. We've already started on the up. With more chance of seeing aurora. You see, you're more likely to see the aurora when the activity on the sun is high and you get lots of sunspots. But saying that, even though we've been in a low for the last few years, there's been plenty of aurora. So it's really good. I mean, you can see the aurora all the time, but it does help when the sun's activity is high, and it's you're just more likely to see the aurora. Right, got another question now. This is a bit of a tricky one, this one, I think. I get this wrong myself sometimes. How long does it take a photon from the centre of the sun to the sunset? It's quite a long time, that, Frank, isn't it? It's a lot longer than it does to get from the surface of the sun to Earth. It only takes about 8 minutes, doesn't it? But it takes about, let's say, 1 million years or something from a photon to get from the middle of the sun to the surface. It takes a long time. One more question to go. Here we go. How long... Well, I had to look this one up because I always get this wrong. How long does it take... Actually, no, I knew it. It was just something else I needed to look at. I just needed to check something first. How long does the moon take to orbit the Earth? So how long does the moon take to orbit the Earth, to make a complete... Frank Torkins says 500,000 years. Is that right? 500,000 years to... That's not for the moon to orbit the Earth. That's for a photon to get out of the sun. How long does the moon take to orbit the Earth? So we've got quite a few answers coming in. We've got some answers coming in. I can understand why some people are saying certain things, you know, because this is a confusion. This is a bit of a tricky one, to be quite honest, this one. It's a tricky one, but you're all in the right area. Someone has got it right. Ashley has got it right. 27.3 days. 27.3 days to orbit the Earth with respect to the background stars. So we're going off the background stars. It takes 27.3 days to make a complete orbit of the Earth. But remember, in that time, we've moved around the sun. We've moved around in our orbit a little bit. So it takes a few more days for the moon to get back to... So if you think about the phase of the moon will be different, you know. So it takes that long, 27.3 days to orbit the Earth, but the phase of the moon will be different. It takes an extra, is it two and a bit days to go from say a full moon to another full moon. So it takes 29.5 days to go from full moon to full moon, or new moon to new moon, whatever phase, to get back to the same phase. 27.3 days to orbit. So it's trying to think of the two. It's tricky. So like I say, sometimes I have to look it up myself because I get confused. It's really, really confusing, the moon, the way the moon works. And it's known as the sidereal period. So when the moon orbits the Earth in 27.3 days, which it does, it's known as the sidereal period. It's with respect to the stars. So when it gets back to the same place in the sky again, with respect to the background stars, that's called the sidereal, because that's the same movement to the stars. The stars, when the stars move around, when you see them orbit, they call it sidereal time. A sidereal day is 23 hours and 56 minutes. So we lose like 4 minutes every day. So there you go. Yeah, so it's called the sidereal period. The phases of the moon, which is from full moon, as you see here, from a full moon to the next full moon, is called a synodic month. So like I say, it's a little bit tricky, and even I fall over on this one. I fall over myself. I sometimes get it wrong, you know. But there you go. Ashley got this one, but some of you did well. You know, some of you came up with 29, which I can't really blame you for saying that it's slightly different. It's just the 29.5 days is for the phases, and yeah, I always have to check myself, you know, because sometimes I complete every day's a school day, says Carl Wood. Yeah, it is, isn't it? Even me, I mean, I have to have it drilled into me. I have to read these things off the north. What's your favourite moon phase, Starman? My favourite moon phase? I think for me, a crescent, a nice waxing crescent that you get in the evening. If you see a crescent moon in the evening sky, it's called a waxing crescent moon. So it means the moon is starting to get full. It's starting to light up. But you can also get a waning crescent moon, but you'll only see those in the early morning before the sun rises. So you see like a nice crescent moon in the morning before the sun rises, but that will be a waning crescent because it's going round. You see, it's heading towards the sun to go around to back to new moon. So yeah, so like I said, before I started doing all that, I never really took any notice of the moon. Never took any notice of it at all. And when you learn these things, how it all works, and it also affects the tides as well. Daniel G had a beautiful one this morning. Yeah, it probably was, yeah. Well, that was a nice moon. If you watched my Belt of Venus video from last week, it was a nice moon. It was a half moon. It was a last quarter moon, what they call a last quarter. So it's a half. So the moon is pretty much split in half. Last quarter moon. Yeah, you also get earth shine as well. Look out for that. Look out for the earth shine. That's good. And it was quite low down as well, you know. So the moon does tend to be a little bit lower down in the earth. Icarus says that wax isn't good for feathers. Yep, that's going back. That's where I think it got its name from. Candles waxing. I feel the same. Maybe a little trivia quiz would be better for me. Says Wendy. I think you got one right, didn't you? Or was that? Am I mixing it up with somebody else? Actually take more in when we do the quiz, says Maria likes it. It's all a learning curve, yes. It is. So, Sheila, is it Sheila that says she's learned a lot tonight? Or Julie? Julie, thanks Julie. So we're now coming up to 9 o'clock. I can still just about see a bit of light in the sky. I might have to do one of these live streams outside. What do you think? I'll do one outside. Maybe on Blackpool Promenade. What do you think? That'd be fun, wouldn't it? Be like on my other channel, wouldn't it? And if I get as many people joining in for a live stream, a Starman live stream on Blackpool Promenade at the sunset, that'd be good, wouldn't it? What, Shirley Keeley Polly, what was your most memorable thing sighted in the night sky? It's a hard question, that one. There's been lots of things. There's been the aurora, amazing aurora. I've seen amazing meteors. I've seen the Milky Way in Wyoming in America. Absolutely amazing. I don't really know what to say is the best. No, you're right. Did I get one? You're right, I did get one. Yes, you did, Wendy, yeah. Who came up with the terms waxing gibbous and waning gibbous? I think they probably go back to the Greek. I think those names there. Would like a virtual star party. Cool, yeah. Yeah, what do you think? I might. Because now it's started to bright. It feels a bit Benidorm Mad Mike's in the house. Yep, Benidorm Mad Mike. Anyone for Benidorm? I know I'd like to go. I'd like to get away from this cold. It's doing my head in. I need to go for now. Bye, says Sheila M. That's all right because we're pretty much on the limit now. We're at 9 o'clock, and it's now the end of this live stream. Thanks all for joining in. Thanks for watching. I think everyone did quite well on the quiz. Pretty well. I hope you liked it, and it's a good way to learn as well. I think quiz, because it kind of, you know, it really kind of, you know, when you try to answer these questions, it kind of, I think it helps you remember a bit better anyway. I know it does to me anyway. Anyway, that's it. That's it for this live stream again on a Thursday. Who knows? Next week I might be out and about. You never know. Or I might be stuck in here. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. But I'll try and mix it up a little bit sometime. Thanks for watching. Maria, really enjoyed tonight. Bye, everyone. Bye, Starman. Thanks, Maria. Thanks for Christopher. Thanks, Frank. Bye to Wendy, Sheila, Julie, Astro Guy, Daniel. Just trying to name everyone. Tom's Vlogs, Janet Williams, David McConnell, is it? David, sorry if I can't quite read you. Benidorm Mad Mike is in, but I'm just about to finish this now. So I'm going to say bye-bye to everyone. I hope you enjoyed the video, the live stream. And I will see you again on another one. And you never know, I might just be out and about. We'll just have to wait and see. So from the Star Studio, I am out.